And silica, also known as silicon dioxide, is a common mineral found abundantly in the Earth's crust. It's a major component of sand, rock, and soil. We encounter silica in our daily lives more often than we realize. Construction sites, where concrete, bricks, and mortar are used, are notorious for silica dust exposure. Occupations like mining, quarrying, and sandblasting also pose significant risks. Even seemingly innocuous activities like gardening or using certain cleaning products can expose us to this ubiquitous mineral. The danger of silica lies in its ability to become airborne as fine dust particles, small enough to be inhaled deep into the lungs. While our bodies can handle small amounts of silica, prolonged or intense exposure can have detrimental effects on our health, particularly our immune system. Autoimmune diseases occur when the body's immune system, designed to protect us from foreign invaders, mistakenly attacks its own healthy tissues. Scientists have observed a strong correlation between silica exposure and the development of certain autoimmune diseases. This link is particularly evident in occupations with high silica exposure, where workers experience a significantly elevated risk of developing autoimmune conditions. While the exact mechanisms are still being unraveled, research suggests that silica can trigger a cascade of events that disrupt the immune system's delicate balance. This disruption can lead to the immune system misidentifying the body's own tissues as threats, mounting an attack that results in inflammation, pain, and tissue damage. Understanding this connection is crucial for developing strategies to prevent and treat these debilitating conditions. Scleroderma, meaning hard skin in Greek, is a rare autoimmune disease characterized by the hardening and tightening of the skin. This hardening can also affect internal organs, including the lungs, heart, and digestive system. Studies have shown a strong association between silica exposure and the development of scleroderma, particularly the more severe diffuse form. Workers in industries with high silica dust exposure, such as mining and construction, have a significantly increased risk of developing this debilitating condition. The precise mechanisms by which silica triggers scleroderma are still under investigation. However, it is believed that silica particles, when inhaled, can interact with immune cells in the lungs and trigger an abnormal immune response. This immune response leads to the overproduction of collagen, a protein that provides structure to our tissues. The excessive collagen deposition causes the hardening and thickening of tissues, leading to the debilitating symptoms of scleroderma. Section 4. Raynaud's phenomenon, silica's chilling effect on blood flow. This section delves into the intricate relationship between silica exposure and the onset of Raynaud's phenomenon. Raynaud's phenomenon, often simply called Raynaud's, is a condition that affects blood circulation, primarily in the fingers and toes. It is a disorder that can significantly impact daily life, especially in colder climates. It is characterized by episodes of color changes in the extremities, typically triggered by cold or stress. These episodes can be quite alarming and uncomfortable for those who experience them. During a Raynaud's attack, blood vessels in the affected areas constrict excessively, temporarily limiting blood flow. This constriction is a defensive response of the body to conserve heat. This causes the fingers or toes to turn white or blue and feel numb or cold. The lack of blood flow can make the extremities feel like ice. As blood flow returns, the affected areas may turn red and throb or tingle. This phase can be quite painful as the blood rushes back into the constricted vessels. While the exact cause of Raynaud's is unknown, silica exposure has been identified as a significant risk factor. This connection has been observed in various occupational settings. Studies have shown a higher prevalence of Raynaud's among workers in occupations with significant silica dust exposure, such as miners and construction workers. These findings highlight the importance of workplace safety. It is believed that silica particles, when inhaled, can damage the lining of blood vessels, making them more prone to constriction. This damage can lead to increased sensitivity and frequent Raynaud's attacks. This increased sensitivity to cold or stress can trigger the characteristic color changes and discomfort of Raynaud's. Understanding these triggers is crucial for managing and mitigating the symptoms effectively. Section 5. Rheumatoid arthritis, silica's role in joint inflammation. Rheumatoid arthritis is a chronic autoimmune disease that primarily affects the joints, causing pain, swelling, stiffness, and eventually joint damage. This debilitating condition can significantly impact a person's quality of life, making everyday tasks challenging and painful. It occurs when the immune system mistakenly attacks the lining of the joints, called the synovium. This lining becomes inflamed and thickened, leading to the symptoms associated with rheumatoid arthritis. While the exact cause of rheumatoid arthritis remains elusive, research suggests that silica exposure may play a role in triggering or exacerbating the disease. Silica, a common mineral found in sand, stone, and concrete, can be inhaled as fine dust particles. Studies have shown a higher incidence of rheumatoid arthritis among individuals exposed to silica dust, particularly those with genetic predispositions. This includes workers in industries such as mining, construction, and manufacturing. Silica particles, when inhaled, can trigger inflammation in the lungs. This respiratory inflammation can be severe and persistent, leading to further health complications. This inflammation is not limited to the respiratory system and can spread throughout the body, including the joints. The systemic nature of this inflammation means that multiple areas of the body can be affected simultaneously. Over time, chronic inflammation in the joints can lead to the development of rheumatoid arthritis. Persistent joint inflammation can cause irreversible damage to the cartilage and bones within the joint. Additionally, silica may disrupt the normal function of immune cells, making them more likely to attack the body's own tissues, including those in the joints. This disruption can lead to a heightened and prolonged immune response. This abnormal immune response further contributes to the chronic inflammation and joint damage seen in rheumatoid arthritis. Understanding the role of silica in this process is crucial for developing preventive measures and treatments for those at risk. Section 6. Unmasking the culprit: scientific evidence of silica's harm. The link between silica exposure and autoimmune diseases is not merely a matter of observation, but is backed by a growing body of scientific evidence. This evidence has been meticulously gathered over years of rigorous research and analysis. Numerous studies have demonstrated a strong association between silica dust exposure and an increased risk of developing various autoimmune conditions. These conditions can severely impact the quality of life and overall health of affected individuals. For instance, a large-scale study published in the journal Arthritis and Rheumatology found that workers exposed to high levels of silica dust were at a significantly higher risk of developing rheumatoid arthritis compared to those with no silica exposure. This study was one of the most comprehensive of its kind, involving thousands of participants over several years. The study also found a dose-response relationship, meaning that the risk of developing the disease increased with higher levels and longer durations of silica exposure. This relationship underscores the importance of limiting exposure to silica dust in occupational settings. Another study published in the American Journal of Respiratory and Critical Care Medicine found that silica exposure can trigger the production of specific antibodies associated with scleroderma. This finding adds another layer of complexity to the understanding of how silica impacts human health. These antibodies, known as anti-nuclear antibodies or ANAs, attack the body's own cells and are a hallmark of autoimmune diseases. The presence of ANAs is a critical indicator used by medical professionals to diagnose and monitor these conditions. The study suggested that silica exposure may initiate or accelerate the autoimmune process that leads to scleroderma. This insight is vital for developing strategies to prevent or mitigate the onset of such diseases. These studies, along with numerous others, provide compelling evidence that silica exposure is not just a workplace hazard, but a significant risk factor for developing debilitating autoimmune diseases. The breadth and depth of this research highlight the urgent need for regulatory measures. This understanding is crucial for implementing preventive measures and developing effective treatments for these conditions. By addressing the root cause, we can hope to reduce the incidence of these diseases and improve outcomes for those affected. Like and subscribe if this video helped, and leave a comment. If you work with silica, we would be curious to know